What's up, guys? I think you can all see me and hear me in the Facebook group. If you can, just let me know. Yes, we are there. I think it's all set. I'm so excited about tonight. This is gonna be so much fun. So tonight we are gonna go over a system, a program called the Keto Reboot System. Many of you guys have done this already. A lot of you guys have not. And so either way, if you've done it or you haven't, you wanna be on this call because you're gonna learn something new. It's gonna really help you understand why you want to do this every month regularly to help you reach your ultimate goal with if you're doing the ketogenic lifestyle or if you're not doing the ketogenic lifestyle. Really, this one system is good for both. So I'm going to take you guys into a presentation, and then after that we have some testimonials of transformations and people that have used this long term and how it's helped them in their life. And so we're going to hear from them right when we get through the presentation. So bear with me for a second while I take you guys on a screen share. Let me just make sure I'm recording this. Yes, it is. Okay, so the 60-hour Keto Reboot System, the next reboot is gonna start March 4th. If you are watching this after that date, we usually have a reboot start date one time in the month, and it's usually towards the end or middle of the month. And so if you're watching this on the playback later on, all of this information applies to you. It's just the date would be different. So just check out the banner in the group or check out the notes when the next reboot is for you. But as far as right now, if you're watching this live, March 4th is that's the last day you can grab your kit. The reboot starts March 15th. So we're all rebooting together March 15th. March 4th is the last day you can actually purchase the reboot so that you can get into that challenge. If you do not purchase by March 4th, then it's sold out in the system and it's not gonna be available until the following month, okay? So do you have to start it on March 15th with everyone? No, you can do it any time of the month that you want, and you can apply your results to our challenge to win prizes as well. But we all do it on the 15th together to help everyone get through it, because it's a 60-hour fast. So there's a ton of benefits to fasting and why you might want to do this, but this product, the 60-hour reboot, is designed to help you reset your metabolism. So it reprograms your genes to run on fat for fuel. And they like to say, by conquering Prove It 60-hour reboot system, you engage your body to use fat as an energy source while gradually shifting into keto adaptation. So it really does help to do extended fasts regularly to give your digestive system a break, to trigger autophagy, which if you're not familiar with autophagy, that's anti-aging, when your body starts reusing cells like the dead cells, flushing those out and generating and creating and producing brand new healthy cells, which help with like wrinkles and tightening of the skin, all of these amazing things. It also, the Keto Reboot, in addition to the fasting, has properties to help you protect your lean muscle mass, which is super important. And this is why a bunch of guys and women love to do the Keto Reboot along with their extended fasting. So the 60-hour fast is like the recommended number because that's going to help you trigger autophagy at a higher level. It's going to give your digestive system a really good break so that you start healing different areas of your body. You're going to get energy, you're going to get mental clarity, you're going to reduce hunger for the entire month ahead, because what happens when you stop consuming food for 60 hours is your stomach starts shrinking. It stretches out from the food that you eat, and a lot of times if you're eating a lot of food, it will stretch right out and you're going to feel hungry all the time. But when you do a keto reboot like this, you're resetting things, and your stomach muscle will, or not really muscle, but your stomach will start shrinking back down so that you get fuller on less going forward into the following 30 days after your reboot. It's going to help you control cravings, and this entire system throughout the entire 60 hours that you're fasted, you might feel a little bit hungry, but it's designed to help you make it through this without feeling starving. Like, you should not feel starving this whole time. You should just feel like, okay, this feels a little weird that I haven't had any food for like 20 hours, especially if you've never done that before. The program allows you to be constantly consuming something, so you have some sort of flavor, you have some sort of support to help you throughout this process. So let's get into some details here. So what comes included in your kit? So here's our little unboxing for you. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get all of these different products. Now these products are all available in our product line in full serving packages. If you really love one or the other and you want to grab a full supply of that, you can do that at any time. But the system is set up to help you with Better Broth, it's called, which is our bone broth that also contains ketones, the pure therapeutic ketones, which these ketones are the only ones in the world that are naturally fermented, which means your body, it's a bioidentical ketone to the ketones your body produces naturally. Okay, so you're going to have 2 different flavors within your kit. Now we have a bunch of different flavors of these broths. So if you have one that you really like and you like to do the reboot monthly, then you probably want to grab your favorite flavor of broth just to have it on hand so you can sip on that whenever you want it, because you can really have those as much as you want almost, as long as it's not just like constant. You know, if there's more than what is in the kit that you want to consume, you can do that of the broth, of the nat ketones as well. So, but your kit's going to have everything that you need. You really do not need to get anything additional. These are just suggestions if you're someone who wants to do this every single month and it makes sense for you to have on hand different flavors that you love. So this is the schedule that comes in your kit. It's going to walk you right through it. And in our group, in this group where you guys are right now, we host challenges in here and we all do it together and we give away prizes and stuff and we have you submit your results and we do this so that it helps you stay focused and on track. And also Prove It has another group that you can enter into and get into, the Keto Reboot group. When you purchase this product, you're able to get in there and there's doctors that go live in there. There's a ton of scientists, there's trainers, there's a lot going on in that group. So you definitely want to make sure you're in this group and that group as well. This group is nice because it's smaller and it's a little more intimate and it's a little more comfortable for you to be posting whatever you want throughout your reboot journey experience and staying accountable. Plus we're able to give you some great prizes and stuff and do it together. And so it's very, very simple. Monday into, well, really it starts Sunday, 30 minutes before bed, you're going to take the Signal OS PM capsules. These are not diet pills. These are not fat burners. These are DNA repair. They help your body with the autophagy side of this. They're going to help you start repairing your DNA and healing your body, okay? So you're going to take those Signal OS the night after, like, you eat regularly on Sunday. So you eat what you normally would eat, and then, but don't binge eat, right? You don't want to binge eat that day knowing that you're fasting. You just want to eat normal. And then 30 minutes before bed, have that Signal OS. And then on Monday morning, you're going to wake up and you're going to have the Keto OS NAT that comes in your kit. So you're going to want the caffeinated one in the morning. And then you're going to have our Mitoplex electrolytes. So it's really important when you do a fast or any sort of extended fast that you replenish your electrolytes. So the Mitoplex electrolytes are the only electrolytes that work at the mitochondrial level, which is the powerhouse of the cells. So you guys want to have that Mitoplex with your NAT. You can either mix it in with it or you can have it separately. For me personally, I actually have my Mitoplex when I have my broth at noon because I feel like it just mixes in better because it does have a flavor. It will change your NAT flavor a little bit, and those NAT flavors are pretty amazing. And so you don't really want to mess with the amazing flavors because they really do go through a lot of testing to get like the flavor notes perfect and to taste perfect. The Better Broth, however, because it's hot, it's more of like a broth, the Mitoplex mixes in with it and it's undetectable. You can't even taste it. So that's just my recommendation. I would say have your Mitoplex with your broth at noon, and then 3 p.m. have another one of your Keto Nat. They include decaf for you to have in the afternoon. And then 6 p.m. you're going to have another one of the broth, okay? And all you do with this product is you mix it with water. So if you're doing the broth, you're doing hot water. If you're doing the nat ketones, you're doing cold water, shaking it up in a shaker cup, and that's it, okay? And then 30 minutes before bed, you're having those Signal OS DNA repair capsules. I would love to mention that you can swap out different things. So let's say you have some things in stock. Maybe you stocked up with some of the seasonal flavors we have. You can grab whatever flavor you want and swap them out for any of the flavor that comes in your kit here. The only ones you don't want to use are the Swiss cacao or the vanilla sky or the roasted marshmallow. Those are really the 3 flavors that I wouldn't recommend that you swap in here. But you can also utilize the Keto Up. A lot of people absolutely love the Keto Up, which comes in a can. It's carbonated. So if you have that on hand, if that's one of your favorite products, you can use that while you are rebooting instead of the Nat. And I will tell you guys, I'm so obsessed with the Nat while I am rebooting. I will drink it. Like, I'll have a Nat in the morning, and then I'll have another one a little later. That's just my preference. So, but I've done it many times just exactly following this system. So what I'm saying is you can follow it exactly the way it comes, or if you have additional product on hand, you can add that into it if you want. So on Wednesday morning, you're gonna wake up, you're gonna feel amazing. You're gonna feel like so proud of yourself, so accomplished that you actually made it the full 60 hours. Like, that is an unbelievable accomplishment. And for a lot of people, they've never even gone 20 hours fasted. So to go the full 60 hours is just amazing. And you're going to definitely just feel less bloated, less swelling. You're going to possibly see the numbers on the scale, and I'm going to share with you guys some numbers in a second and the results that people have had. But a lot of people do the reboot not even for fat loss results. They do it for their health. They do it for other reasons. And so really, it doesn't matter what your reason is. This reboot could make you feel better and help you sleep better and reset your metabolism and just kind of launch you. Most people that are in here, though, are in this group working on their fitness, their fat loss goals. So let's talk a little bit about that. Here are some of the results from previous challenges that we have done, and also before and afters from the amazing challengers, provers that are in this challenge group. So all of the photos and images that you see are people in this group here. So, and all of these results are also people in this group. So we're all doing this together with you guys. You can see there was a few people that lost over 9 pounds in the 60 hours of this fast. And then there was a bunch of people that lost 8, a bunch of people that lost 7, a large amount that lost 6 and 5, and then a really large amount that lost 4 pounds. So when you lose this, you're probably wondering, all right, well, am I just going to gain it all back when I start eating normal again? And the answer to that is no, unless you like go on a crazy binge and just start eating everything in the house, or you were previously doing keto, you did this 60-hour reboot, and then all of a sudden you just ate a large pizza. But this whole system is designed and set up to not trigger a binge event after the reboot. And I will tell you, the more you reboot, the easier it gets and the more used to it you get. And once you become fat adapted or keto adapted with doing these consistent reboots, your body gets used to it and it understands, there's like a memory that it understands that food's gonna come after that 60-hour mark, and you're just not gonna have that situation happen. But the system's set up to not let that happen to you with the ketones, with the broth, with the electrolytes, with everything that they do and crafted and created with doctors to kind of help you get through this fast in a healthy way that's not going to set you up for any sort of issue like that. However, I will say, if you have a prior eating disorder, this type of thing is probably not right for you, okay? And if you're pregnant right now, this is not right for you. If you are breastfeeding right now, this is not right for you unless you are doing that, like supplementing that, or the baby's not just fully breastfed, that sort of thing. Now, I do know a lot of times moms will be like, well, I've been breastfeeding for a while and I really want to do this keto reboot. I like doing intermittent fasting. You really have to follow what works best for your body in that situation. But really, pregnant and eating disorders, you don't want to reboot. It's probably going to trigger an issue for you. So that's just something to know. Now, here are some more results from another reboot challenge that we did, and some more before and afters of our incredible challengers and provers right here. So as you guys go through your challenges, we want you to take before photos and we want you to take after photos. It's up to you if you want to post them in the group or not. That's not a requirement to win prizes, but the requirement is to win that you submit in our little form that we put at the beginning of every challenge. You're going to put in your results. So we also would love you to take your measurements. So your before measurements and your after measurements, we're really trying to help hold you accountable and also get this to be something that you can stick to and you stay focused on and you get all the way to the end of it. Because it's a little bit of an investment, right? So you want to actually do it if you're going to get it. So we try to help you along and get you to make it all the way to the 60 hours. So yeah, here are some more amazing results from previous challenge and incredible results in just 60 hours. Really amazing. And you're going to hear from some of these people right after this who have said that they want to share their story with you. This is our last reboot in February. This was just last month. And we're going to be giving away the prize. I'm going to be doing the prize drawing right here on this call. So if you're watching this and you did this reboot and you were one of these people, you got entered into win. And I see someone here is listed twice, but you're not listed twice in the drawing, so I'm not worried about that. But that was just an error when I uploaded them here to this image. But these are some insane results. I mean, this is my friend Melissa. Like, this is 1 hour when hour one when she first started. Here's at 60 hours, and this is 2 weeks later. So this is just showing you that these results are lasting. Like, they're not just a quick fix. This is something that's good for you, that's healthy for you, that's recommended by doctors, that is something that can help you not only with fat loss, but for your overall health. Now, look at Ellie up here. Like, her reboot results are just absolutely insane. All of these ladies, this is a dramatic transformation over here for just 60 hours. So in our challenge, we poll people, how much did you lose? Will you be rooting again with us or rebooting again with us in the future? And so 95%, almost 96% said yes, you guys are going to be rebooting with us in the future. And a tiny sliver said, I'm not sure. And then no one said probably not. So I love you guys. That's amazing. And then how much did you lose? Okay, so you can see a large portion of people lost between 3 to 4 pounds. We have a pretty big slice that lost 6 pounds, and 7 pounds has a big piece as well as 5 pounds. So that's amazing. The smallest slices lost 2 or 1 pound, but I want to remind you guys, if you do this reboot and you do not see the number on the scale right after the reboot, that does not mean that what occurred within your body is not preparing you to then start dropping it. And there's something called a whoosh effect, where some people see the largest change on the scale after their reboot as they go into the following month and they're doing everything to continue on reaching their goals, okay? So it does help you bust through a plateau. It does help you if you're feeling blah, you just want to feel better after vacation or something. Maybe you fell off track. Maybe you know you've been eating too much. Maybe you haven't been sleeping well, or for whatever reason, really, giving the reboot a try is a good option for you. But if you have any questions, if it's right for you, you can put it in the comments below. So prize drawing, let's do it, guys. And then right after this, we're gonna get into the transformations, testimonials of some of the people who have used this with us and have been in our challenges. So I'm going to come out of this and bring it right into this drawing here. And we are going to pick a random name. So we're going to pick 3 winners, and the winners are going to win full Keto Reboot kits. So you guys can reboot again with us. Beth Weekland, number 1. Let me just write it down. And I already have your address, Beth, when you submitted your results, so I will just ship this right out to you. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Winner is Alexis McCombs. Congratulations. Just writing it down, sorry. Just want to make sure I have this before. And Rita, okay. All right, guys, congratulations. Congratulations if you won a prize with our Reboot Challenge. We give away prizes on every single one. And so, so super proud of you guys. Let me just stop the screen share so I can see all of these amazing people. If you guys have any questions, put it in the comments of the group and we can come in there and answer them for you and help you guys out. I see there are almost 300 comments already in this video. Like, are you kidding me? That is insane. How long have we been on here? Like 15 minutes. So, all right. Let's start with some transformational stories. Who wants to hear some transformational stories? Pop it in the comments in the live video if you want to hear these people and what they've experienced with the Keto Reboot. Let's start with, well, who wants to go first? Ellie? Okay. Ellie, I will unmute you and you can tell us your story, girl.
Hello, everybody. I'm super excited about this. Like, the reboot is kind of scary when you first start, but I can tell you this, it's one of my very favorite things that I love. And the reason that I love it so much is, yes, there's the fat loss and all those kinds of things. But for me, I don't know about any of you guys, but I am a very big stress and emotional eater. Like I'm if something's going on, the first thing I do is I go to food for comfort. And after a long day, the first thing I do is like go in the refrigerator, I'm ripping stuff out. Like I want to find comfort with food. So when I do the reboot, it gives me a moment to take a break and figure out, what am I feeding? Am I feeding my body? Am I feeding stress? Am I feeding anxiety? Am I feeding hormones? Like, let's face that, guys, like us girls, we go through that, don't we? We know when that's happening, right? So, but is it habitual? You know, a lot of times we have breakfast when we wake up. Why do we do that? Not because we need to do it, because that's what we are trained to do. It's a habit, right? We have to have lunch at noon. We have to have dinner at 5 o'clock. And we don't. And what we've done is, as society, is we stopped listening to our body intuitively tell us when we need to eat. And so when I reboot, it puts me back into that feed your body when it needs it. So if I feel like I need to eat something, I take a minute to think about, what is it that I'm feeding? Am I stressed out about something? Is it that my time of the month thing? Is it whatever? But for me, it just gives me a moment to pull back and check my relationship with food, because I got a good bit of hamburgers on my hind end, guys. Like, I don't need to eat for a little while, right? And none of us are going to starve to death in 60 hours, right? And it's all so much in our minds that we have to have food. We do not. And so it gives you an opportunity to really check that relationship and find out if it's a habit that you're feeding. Is it stress you're feeding? Is it hormones? Is it emotional? You know, and if you are, that gives you a moment to say, okay, what am I feeling right now, so that I can find another way to cope and stop that cycle of feeding those emotions or stress or whatever. So for me, it's a lot more than the fat loss. And let me tell you, I'm getting in a tankini for my anniversary in June, so I'm totally psyched about the reboot, right? I love the reboot. So yes, the fat loss is wonderful. And yes, by the second day, I feel like on fire. Like, I love it. And the first day can be a little bit tough, but it's all mental. And I just remember, I got a hamburger on my hind end. I don't need to eat anything. So you just push through it, right? And it's all a mind game. And then you start to think, I'm stronger than this and I can do it. And then when you're done, you're like, oh my gosh, I did it. And then you just feel so much better. And I can tell you this, February was my birthday. Whole month, I had all the drinks and all the birthday cakes. So I really need this reboot this time. So I love it. And I will do it every single month. This will be my 10th reboot. And I'm down over 42 pounds. So I'm really stoked and I love the reboot. So I can't wait to do it.
Awesome, Ellie. And between the reboots, what do you usually do as your like protocol? Like what types of foods are you eating and what are you drinking as far as supplements every day?
So I keep it really simple. I eat intuitively. Whenever I get up in the morning, I have my packet of Nat. I am a Lime Time. I am married to Lime Time. We're like soulmates. And so I have my Lime Time every single morning. It makes me happy. I will intermittently fast. I don't start getting hungry until about maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon is when I actually get my first hunger pang. And then I will have a cup of coffee with some cream in it because I don't know about anybody, but I love the cream. It's like my second soulmate. And then I eat. Like I'll have maybe some eggs, maybe a piece of bacon. I have some olives. I keep it simple. I don't make it hard. Just keep it super simple. Low carb is perfect.
Perfect. Thank you so much. You are incredible. Like you always make me so happy just listening to you. Like you just have one of those like bubbly personalities that I could just listen to all day. Thanks so much. So who wants to go next with their transformation? Let's talk to Janine.
Hello, everyone. So I did the reboot for the first time in February. Well, let me go back because in July I attempted to do the reboot, but I had just came from Mexico and I still had tacos in my brain, so I probably lasted a regular 18, 16 hours. So it didn't go very far. But when I did the reboot this time, I said that I was going to do it and finish it. And by day one, I will say was the hardest. But it wasn't hard because I was hungry. It was hard because I kept thinking that I wanted food. But once I got past day one, I will say that I literally realized like that fasting is completely a mental thing. Just like Ellen said, it's a complete mental thing that you go through because a lot of times we think we're hungry when really we're just thirsty, just need to drink some water and get that on out of the way, and then we'll be fine. So after day one, day two really was a breeze because I had already set my mind to it like, oh my God, I've made it this far. I made it past day one, only one day left. So what I got from the fast was very similar, that it just helped me to get a different relationship with food and realize that we don't need food most of the time. We want food. And that, you know, it taught me self-discipline. Self-discipline is the main thing that I got from it because it taught me, like I said, that food is something that we desire. It's not something that we need all the time. Yes, you need food to live, but you don't need it as much as we have it. Similar, I also used to always think as soon as I hit the floor, it's time for breakfast. At 12 o'clock, it's time for lunch. At 7, 6 o'clock, it's time for dinner. Now I may eat twice a day. Sometimes I only eat once a day. So for me, it was a big accomplishment. And then also another thing that I got from the fast was accountability, because I'm in a group similar to the 10-day challenge in the reboot group. I'm in a group, and as much as I could have quit, I couldn't quit because I had so many people rooting me on and saying, oh, we're watching, let us know how today goes. So I got accountability, self-discipline, and so much more from the reboot. Yes, there was fat loss. I mean, if you're going 2 days, drinking ketones for one, you're definitely going to have the fat loss. And then also 2 days of just water, ketones, and the bone broth, you're going to have fat loss. But the fat loss literally was like, what is that? Whatever. I lost weight. So what? But the main thing was the self-discipline and the accountability that I got from everyone who was rooting me on the whole time. So if you haven't got your reboot, I definitely recommend rebooting. This will be my second one, and I'm sure I'll probably be rebooting every single month.
Thank you so much. That was amazing. You're incredible. Congratulations. And your results were amazing. What was your, if you could tell everyone, how much did you lose in your reboot, the one that you completed?
5 pounds.
Wow. Amazing. Like so amazing. And I don't know about you guys, but when you start seeing the number on the scale start moving, it motivates you to stay focused and stay on track, even just like through the entire month. If you don't see it moving like for a long period, it can really make you feel like, why am I even doing this? So that's one thing the reboot will definitely help you just with that like little mental shift to be like, okay, it's working, it's going, like I can keep going with this long term and just keep on it. So,
and then one more thing I wanted to say is that this is very different than a lot of like fast, because most of the time when you go so long without eating, you gain the weight back. I have not gained a single pound back. So I will say that the reboot is completely different because you don't gain the weight back.
thank you. Actually, every time I reboot, I end up, so I usually typically will lose 4 pounds in my reboot, and then I'll lose an additional 2 pounds like the next week. And then then that loss will like maintain for a little while, and then it will continue going. Like that's one thing that I noticed personally with when I reboot. That's why I love it. I love it so much. Okay, thanks. Who wants to go next? Cassie? Oh, what did we do? How do you do this?
Uh-oh.
No, you're good. You're good.
Are we good? Okay. I just couldn't hear you.
Good, you're good. I muted myself. I think we were muting each other.
Okay, so I've done two reboots, and this last time we did it together as husband and wife. So the first one I did was in January, and I did it alone. And for the first time going through a really long fast, that was extremely difficult because not only did I get home from work, but then I had to cook for the family. And he was very supportive. I'm pretty sure you even went into another room to eat your food. Like he wouldn't even eat in front of me because I was like getting to the point where all I could think about was my next meal. And but it got so much easier because like it was said before, after your first day, you're like, okay, well now I'm over tomorrow. I can do this, you know? And so keeping yourself busy is very important, and try to keep your mind busy. I think that was one of our best things, was getting busy at work and focusing on the family and just doing things interactively and like having those conversations and not getting wrapped up in your head, because your mind will play so many tricks on you. You'll start thinking about food that you never ever crave, you know, like things that off the wall, like who likes Twinkies, but all of a sudden you wanted it, you know, that makes no sense. And but this last time we did it together, and that was a lot of fun. So if you guys have someone or a friend or even just the group to have that accountability and those people to do it with you, it makes a huge difference, because we had a lot of fun with it. We were able to text each other and be like, hey, when are you having your broth? Oh my gosh, like, you know, oh, I can't believe it. I think I made it to like 4 o'clock in the afternoon before I had my first broth on day 2. And I only had it because it was getting late and I didn't want to have 2 cups later on in the evening. So how did you feel during yours? Because it was your first time.
Yeah, this was my first time doing the reboot. And I'll start by saying that I was an absolute skeptic of, well, all of this in general, for one, but I'm definitely sold now. I've never done a fast more than maybe 10 hours. I have had a very unhealthy relationship with food. And thanks to this lovely woman, she's helped me on the right path. But doing the reboot definitely helped me realize how little food I actually need to sustain. Both of us lead very busy lives with work and baby. I'm in school full time. We're always on the go. So one of my major concerns was that we would have no energy and that we were just going to be miserable at home. We're going to be miserable at work.
It was the polar opposite.
Yeah, we were on fire. We had so much energy all the time.
Like we went to the gym. It was like that's like, I thought that we were like, okay, let's take a few days off so that we can get accustomed to things. And we were like, oh, we could totally go do a walk or a jog, or let's take the kids out of the house. Like, let's go do things.
Yeah, like, what do you want to do?
We were pumped. And then after that second day, it got so much easier. And then you start planning out for your first meal and you're like, okay, what do we want to break it with? And for me, that next day, when it came time to actually break my fast, I was like, I wonder how much further I can go. Like, I don't need to eat right now. I'm totally fine. And so I pushed it a couple hours out at a time. And I think my first one, I did the exact same thing. I made it to like, almost 70 hours before I even needed to break my fast. And so yeah, it's been an amazing accomplishment and something that I never thought that would be so easy or simple, but it really reprograms how you think about things and how much we rely on habit. And it's awesome to break those habits and really regain your self-strength and all that kind of stuff when it comes to food and nutrition.
Yeah, and over the last, couple of weeks, we've kind of gone into intermittent fasting on a regular basis, and we feel amazing doing that. We both shed a few more pounds doing it that way, feel a lot lighter, still have a ton of energy. So it's definitely set us on a good path.
Yeah, and you guys have a little baby, and so I mean that energy is definitely needed. I know I have one too. So I mean, I just love you guys. You are so cute, both of you. Like, I'm sure everyone in the comments are gonna say the same thing. Like, this is the cutest couple I've ever seen. Thank you so much for coming on here and telling your reboot experience story. Loved it. And any of you guys who are watching, get your husbands on board. Like, grab 2 reboots, do it with them. Like, force them. What's your name? Cassie, what's your husband's name?
Oh, Levi.
Okay. Because I'm like.
Oh, and that's another thing too. He has a love relationship with Lime Time. So,
yes.
Yep. And I got him started on the ketones, and he can tell, we both can, when he ends up not having one for a day. He starts hitting his head on things and like forgetting everything. And he's like, I haven't had my ketones. And so we definitely notice a difference in our everyday lives when it comes to just our everyday supplements that we have and how we feel overall. And we have 3 kids to chase around. So
yeah, if anything happens throughout the day that's even somewhat negative, I blame it on not having my ketones.
Yeah. Let me just say, my husband was I can't say the word, but you know what, ASSHOLE, before ketones, and then it just like turned everything around. All of a sudden he was in a better mood all the time. All of a sudden, like, things that normally annoyed him stopped annoying him. He just started being like a little bit more chill, and he cannot live without ketones. And I noticed when he doesn't drink the ketones. And he was the biggest skeptic of them all. Like, mostly all of our husbands are when we start this, because like, well, what is this? Why do I need this? And I don't think I need this. Like, I've never, I survived before without it, but it's like so very common. So that's why I say, guys, just like pick up 2 boxes and just like, you're doing this with me. And it does make it so much easier when you don't have to like cook for them. Like you said, it definitely and then you kind of like hold each other accountable to like make it all the way to the end. And a lot of people tell me they will do like a competition with their husband and be like, all right, well, who's going to break their fast first? Let's see if we can make it all the way to 60 hours. And it like pushes them to keep going long term and further along for this whole 60 hours. So thank you so much, guys. Absolutely love you too. Like, you're adorable.
she muted herself.
Okay. We keep playing tag. All right. I'm not muted now. I think I'm okay. Am I okay? Everyone's that's supposed to be muted is muted. All right. Rianne, do you want to tell your story next? Okay, I'm going to unmute you.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So I did strict keto. I was never even introduced to ketones for about 8 months. I did the strict keto. I didn't have any of those nice little snacks. It was right after I had my baby. I was probably almost a year postpartum. And I lost about 15 pounds of the baby weight, and then it like stopped. Like, I couldn't lose anymore. So I got really frustrated, did all my research just on the keto lifestyle. I'm like, I don't think I can ever survive without carbs or bread. But the more I kept researching and thinking about it, I'm like, I have to do this. This is like my last ditch effort. So I started, and the first week that I did it, I lost 4 pounds. So right there, I knew. I'm like, all right, this is different than any other diet I've ever done in my life. Kept going, reached my goal of losing between 30, 35 pounds. Well, then the holidays came, and I put on some weight, and then vacation came. So it was a mess. I didn't undo everything that I did, but I definitely needed to get back into it. So a friend of mine, she was introducing me to ketones and the reboot. So I just did the reboot, and I've been doing it for over a year now, consecutively every month. And I was like 60 hours without eating. Are you kidding me? But I was intermittent fasting before. So it's not like I was new to it, but I wasn't doing no 60 hours. So I'm like, all right, I can do this. You know, it's mind over matter. And it truly is. And I love to compete with myself. I love to push myself to the limit. It's just a competition for myself. I'm not, you know, doing it with anybody else. And the first reboot went pretty smooth. I didn't cheat, nothing. I didn't want to rip anybody's head off. It was the first time I ever went 60 hours without any coffee. I always have my morning coffee. So that was an accomplishment. And I think my first reboot, I lost like 4 or 5 pounds. So that was decent. And it just kept me going. And then I started putting, this was KREW Nat, in my coffee every morning. And let me tell you, I'm obsessed. And I'm really sad that they're taking it away now. But it's my morning ritual. A little bit of half and half. So it's KREW, iced or hot coffee. I'm good to go. I go to the gym if I'm not working, gets me through my workout, and then I don't eat until like 12 or 1 o'clock. And then I eat through that window, and then I don't know, probably stop eating around 8 o'clock, just depending on days I get home from work. Sometimes it is late, but I never eat past 9. So the reboot, when I'm done with it, every single time, never disappoints. I think the least I've ever lost was 2 pounds. Yeah, I was mad at the scale, but I take pictures, and I could totally see the fat loss and more definition in my stomach. So yeah, I'm sad at the scale, but I'm happy with my pictures. So, you know, it's a win-win, whatever. This last reboot, I lost 6 pounds. So I'm just going to keep doing it until I can't. Oh, and another thing, I was sick with the flu since January. And these past 2 reboots of fasting lessened my symptoms. I felt like crap at the beginning, and by Wednesday afternoon, the body aches were gone. Like, these body aches were serious. They were like into my joints. I actually called off work the one day, which I never call off work. I have to be dying. So my joints just hurt so bad. My body hurt so bad I couldn't get out. So I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this reboot. I did it like a week early just so I could feel better. And by the end, it definitely helped.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that and your story. So many people I know can relate to a lot of the things that you just said. Love it. What have your total results been so far?
Just with the reboot?
Like, all together, your total transformation.
Well, since I'm starting over, I have about 10 more pounds to go.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So
you're going to get there fast. All right. Thank you so much. Let's move on to Stacy Lynn. Are you here? Here you are. I'll unmute you. Hold on a second. Okay. You're unmuted.
Hi, guys. So my story is a little bit different. I didn't start with the reboot for weight loss. Mine was, like Brienne said, when, being sick. I was sick all the time. Anybody who knows me, stuffy nose, watery eyes, achy joints. It was just sick. I mean, I was calling off work at least twice a month. And I had heard that, extended fasting would help with that and help strengthen my body to not be so susceptible to all the. I worked with a lot of people. I had like 200 people in one room in a, and if one person's sick, everybody's sick. So what I did was introduced to the reboot, and I was the biggest skeptic. And I'm like, there's no way. There's just no way this is going to work. 60 hours and me not to eat unless I was sick, really sick. That's the only time I didn't eat. There's that sickness when you're laying on the couch for 3-4 days and you can't even have the water. So I'm like, there's no way. But I did it. And I joined a group, and it was the Keto the KREW group to help me. The first day, like everybody says, I was hangry and I wanted to quit. And everybody just pushed me, and they're like, just do it. You'll feel better. And I did it. And I'm glad I did it, because the aches went away. The stuffy nose went away. The being sick just all the time. This reboot coming up on the 15th will be my 9th reboot. So on my very first reboot, all that, every month it gets better. So all that disappeared. My first reboot, I ended up going 72 hours. And like I said, I was a skeptic. I measured, and when I was done, I looked at the scale. It was 7 pounds is what I lost. But more importantly, and I don't want to say it was more important, like feeling better felt the best. But when I tell you, I measured, again, huge skeptic I am. I lost 25 inches of bloat in 72 hours. That was my selling point. I mean, I measured everything, my neck, my wrist, my lower arms, my upper arms, all the way down to my ankles. But it was 25 inches that I lost. And I wasn't doing it for weight loss or anything like that. So, stay with the groups. That helped, because I was going to quit. After 24 hours, that was it. I was done. But I am so glad that I pushed through and was with the group that just told me, just keep going. And total now, I'm down 33 pounds, and from a triple X dress to a medium, and the sickness is just gone. I might get a little stuffy nose once in a blue moon, but everybody around me right now is sick, and I'm not sick. And I was the one that was wearing the mask, and we all see everybody on TV with the mask. That was me. Every February we go on vacation, and there I am wearing a big yellow mask, but I'm not sick, and I'm leaving for vacation this weekend. So if you want it for weight loss, great, but all the extra benefits that a lot of people don't know about is just phenomenal.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, so incredible. So excited for you. I'm sure that just feels like so freeing and amazing. Yeah.
It's great not to sleep with tissues and not to have to call off and, miss family functions because I was sick all the time.
See, that's amazing. That's the power of your body actually healing your body, and what happens when you stop eating food all the time, and then you just let your body use that energy to just start healing itself. For real, that's amazing. Congratulations. Thank you so much for sharing your story. So let's see, we have a couple more people to hear from. Let's hear from Marty.
Hey, can you hear me? Awesome. Hi guys, I'm excited to be here talking about the reboot of all things. I've done the reboot 6 times now. I started my first reboot in July of 2019. I had started my keto journey. I started with a 10-day. It was an experience then. It's a challenge now, but basically similar thing. I started July 1st, and then I tried the reboot right out the gate. So like 2 weeks in. And honestly, I'll just throw this out there so that, maybe you hear a different perspective, but I lost 0 pounds that first reboot. I had been chugging along on my keto journey those first 2 weeks and dropped a lot of weight, and then probably whoosh effect or whatever. But I did the 60 hours and I lost nothing. And I was so mad about it. I was so unhappy. But what I gained was so much more because I had never gone 60 hours in my life without, grabbing the kids' food off their plates or just dipping into a bag of chips or, just we eat all the time. And I have been that way my entire life. And so I don't want to repeat too much of what everybody else has said, but the chance to overcome that mental attachment to food was huge for me. And so even though I lost nothing that first reboot, I know there were things going on in my body, and I know I needed that mental reset. I came back 2 months later and did the reboot again. Like I said, I've done 6 of them now. I've lost a total of 55 pounds since July 1st. I am a completely different human being. Like the reboot, I feel like was one of those things that catapulted me to believe that I could do things that I never believed I could do before. And so I credit that, and I'm going 12 for 12 in 2020. I'm not missing a single reboot. I'm hoping that I can catch them all with the group because I've had to do it both ways. And I really prefer to be doing it with the group because there's just something about knowing that thousands of other people are in it with you that helps me. But I have done 2 of them on my own schedule whenever I couldn't hit the dates, just didn't work out for me for whatever reason. But yeah, and so my original reason for rebooting was, fat loss and to help my fat loss journey and also to overcome mentally. But I found that as I've done a few of these, like my mindset about them is shifting. So I'm in it for different reasons now. So for example, number one, I've lost 55 pounds in a pretty short amount of time. And I've had 4 children and 4 enormous pregnancies. And so I am all over the skin tightening benefits of the reboot and of being in autophagy. Like, give me all of that, please. I need all the help I can get in that area. But also, cool things that I just never dreamed I'd be even thinking about 7 months ago is I have 4 children, 5 counting my stepson. And so 2 of our boys are like college age or about to be college age. And so 10 years from now, I could very easily be a grandparent. And all of a sudden I'm shifting my thinking from like, oh, I want to lose 50 pounds to, man, I want to be a fun grandmother. Like I want to have the energy to live my life for the remainder of my life. And like, I'm seeing things so much differently now. And so autophagy is going to help me do that. It's going to help keep me, in the best shape that I can possibly be so that I can live the best life that is out there for me to live. And so that's why I keep coming back reboot after reboot, and I'm not going to miss one in 2020.
Love it. Thank you so much. I want to mention, guys, if you're watching this and you're like, okay, well, where do I get the reboot? If you're already a customer, all you do is log into your account, your cloud account, and it's right there in the store, and you can order that. You can also set it up on Smart Ship so that you don't have to wait for the next launch. It will just automatically ship to you. You don't have to worry if you're going to miss it, because I know, and it's easily cancel. You can cancel it anytime very easily in your account. So if like you do it and you're like, I don't want to do this again, you can cancel it, or you can change it to something else. So like if you do the reboot and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with the Lime Time, I need a box of this, you can go into your Smart Ship. You can add the runtime to the Smart Ship. You can take the reboot off. You can add a couple boxes of that if you want, and you get 22% off. So I definitely recommend you guys do that just to have that set up if you are going to go in and order the reboot. If you're watching this on a playback in one of our other pages, then, and you aren't currently a customer, what you want to do is contact the person who sent this to you or shared this with you for their special link, and they can get you going and get you set up with a reboot, get you into our challenge group so you can get into the challenge with us, be a part of this with us, and to help you reach your goal long-term with us. So I'm going to bring in Mandy so Mandy can tell her transformation. You are unmuted. Go ahead.
Hey, everyone can hear me? I hope I stay connected because we're having like crazy storms right now. So hopefully everything goes okay. But yeah, my name is Mandy. I did my first reboot, about 3 months ago. And I was one of those people who said, I watched people do the reboot. I said, there is no way in heck that I'm doing the reboot. I'm like, I just, who wants to not eat for 60 hours? I'm like, no. So, I sat, I watched. I was also pregnant at the time. I'm a member of the 2 Under 2 crew. I had my babies back to back. My daughter is 2.5 and my son is 10 months. And by the time I also nursed both of them. So I nursed my daughter till she was 7 months. And then I also nursed my son till he was 7 months. And right around when he turned 6 months, I started to really think about, like how my body is, how I'm feeling, and just thinking about, what I want to do next. I'm not pregnant anymore. I'm not going to be nursing anymore. So I don't need to, when you're pregnant, you eat whatever you want. When you're nursing, you eat whatever you want, and I'm like, I need something that's going to kind of like, get my body back. I had, the back-to-back pregnancies. I needed to do something I kind of owed it to my body. I owed it to myself, my body. I owed it to, my children so that I can kind of, be the best that I can be for them. Because I was at that point where a lot of you guys mentioned how, you don't even think about eating. You just see food, like you wake up and you eat breakfast. Are you really hungry? And that's what the reboot helped me realize, that, am I really that hungry when I wake up in the morning? It puts things like that into perspective. So I did my first reboot. I said, you know what, I'm going to do this. I've seen the testimonials. I've heard, all that I want to hear. I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to lie, it was a challenge. But the way that you feel once you do the reboot is just, you can't put into words the way that you feel once you've completed the reboot. You just feel, like I could sit here and say, like, I felt amazing. And, you guys are probably thinking like, oh, okay, but you don't truly know how great that feels until you experience it for yourself. And, that's the main thing. And with the, it is tough, but with the support of the group, somebody also mentioned how it's, when you have somebody, Cassie had mentioned that when you have somebody doing it with you. I had my sister doing it with me. I've done the reboot twice, and I've had her do it with me both times. And it's just so nice to have a friend, a family member, a spouse that you can text, that you can just kind of have even, more one-on-one support. I mean, the group is great because you think you have a craving, you log into the group, you tell everybody, and somebody is right there to say, don't eat that, you're good, just keep on going through. I think that I'm really looking forward to March's, because I feel like I kind of fell off with it being, Ellie mentioned that time of the month, you're just eating whatever the heck you want, and I need something that's going to get me back at it and just, ready for summer, because it'll be here before we know it, and I can't wait.
Thank you. Loved it. Everything you said, I relate to all of it. Just to give you guys mention, one thing I recommend that you guys consider doing if you are going to go for the reboot this March, put it in the comments. If you're doing the reboot with us this March, this next reboot, or if you're watching this on the playback and you're going to join us for the next reboot challenge, you're picking up your reboot today, tonight, or tomorrow, put it in the comments. We want to hear how many of you guys are going to be committing to doing this with us. And so the reboot is normally $94. It's on sale for $79. So you can get this special price when you grab that with this launch right now. And I suggest you consider adding, if you've never tried this product before, you've never been on this before, I recommend you add a 10-day challenge pack to that, because you'll get 20 ketones of a variety of all of our flavors. So you don't just have, like, you're not just trying the flavors that are in your kit, but you'll have all of the different flavors to be able to swap in and out and drink more, maybe if you want more. Or you can also extend it then beyond that, because like this is just like the beginning of your journey with this. So you get to reboot, you go through the reboot, and then you're really gonna want those ketones after the reboot. Like, trust me guys, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I feel amazing. My energy is on another level. My mental clarity is on another level. How did I live without these ketones before? They're not like any other ketone on the market. Like I said at the beginning of this presentation, they're the only ones that are bioidentical. So you're going to notice a difference. Like, they are absorbed in your body at a higher rate, and they're the only ones that can do this. And the flavors are amazing. So I just want to mention that. Okay, guys? So if you're ready to get going with us, put it in the comments. We cannot wait for you to join this challenge. I have a feeling this March challenge is going to be one of the biggest ones we've ever done, ever had. So the bigger it gets, we're going to start doing some big prizes for them. So get going on it, join it, be a part of it, stay connected when you're in the group, post your experience, and use it for accountability, not just for the reboot, but for your entire journey. It's mostly a low-carb group because that's the majority of what people do, utilize in between their reboots, you know, with the ketones regularly. So just use it to help you. So thanks guys so much. Hopefully I didn't forget anything, but I think I covered everything. Have an amazing, incredible night, and thank you so much for watching this video. Take care.